let me click on this. Good afternoon. The meeting of the MAG Regional Community Partners Board of Directors is now called to order. For those around the table, please turn on your microphone when speaking so that those on the phone can hear you. For those participating via Zoom, please remember to unmute your device before speaking and mute when you are not speaking to create a positive experience for all attendees. Phone participants should use *6 to mute, unmute, and *9 to raise their hands. The MAG public comment process provides opportunities for members of the public to comment on items scheduled on today's agenda or on items that fall under MAG's jurisdiction. 3 opportunities are provided for public comment, including call to the audience, consent agenda, and action items to be heard. MAG also provides the opportunity for members of the public to submit written comments via the MAG website prior to the meeting, as long as those comments are received at least 1 hour prior to the posted start time for the meeting. If you'd like to comment at today's meeting, please fill out a white request to speak card located on the information counter. Please be sure to indicate the item for which you want to speak and give it to a designated MAG staff member. Don't forget, if you parked in the garage, remember to validate your ticket. Parking validators are available on the information table in the hallway. For those of you who purchased a transit ticket to come to the meeting, please see staff for a ticket. Please note that hearing assisted devices are available for MAG staff. We will now begin the meeting with a roll call of all members. Do you mind doing roll call, please?
Thank you, Chair and members of the Executive Committee. I will go down the list of members. Mayor Gallego. Here. Thank you. Mayor Giles.
Here.
Thank you. Mayor Hartke. Mayor Hermosillo.
Here.
Thank you. Mayor Osborne.
Present.
Thank you. Mayor Peterson. Mayor Weiss, Chair.
Here.
Thank you. We have quorum.
Thank you for that. Would you all please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance? Eric, do you mind leading us to the Pledge of Allegiance while I'm not there?
Be happy to. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, sir, for doing that. Our next item is call to the audience. This is the opportunity for the public to comment on items that fall under MAG's jurisdiction that are not on the agenda. 15 minutes will be provided for the call to the audience agenda item unless the committee requests an exception to this limit. Members of the public who are attending in person may deliver their comments from the table or at the microphone. You have up to 3 minutes to complete your comments. A timer is provided to assist you. When the light on the timer changes from green to yellow, you have 1 minute remaining. If the light turns red, a buzzer will sound, meaning your allocated time has expired. Do we have any cards?
Thank you, Chair and members of the Executive Committee. We have not received any cards or online comments for today's meeting or any items to be heard.
All right, I want to ask, just are there anybody in the audience present who would like to speak on any issue?
Thank you, Chair and members of the Executive Committee. We do not have any members of the present at the audience who would like to speak.
Thank you for that. Our next item is item 4, approval of the April 18th, 2022 meeting minutes. Are there any questions from the committee on these minutes? Anybody from the audience who'd like to speak on the minutes? Seeing and hearing none. Can I get a motion for the item, please?
Motion to approve, Chair.
Second, Mayor Hermosillo.
A motion from Mayor Osborne, a second from Mayor Hermosillo. Do you mind doing roll call, please?
Thank you, Chair and members of the Executive Committee. For members who are present, please do a voice vote indicating how you vote. For those in agreement, please say aye. Aye. Thank you. I will now go down the list of members joining virtually. Mayor Hermosillo, how do you vote?
Yes.
Thank you. Chair, how do you vote?
Aye.
Thank you. Are there any members of the Executive Committee that I haven't called? Thank you, Chair. The motion passes unanimously.
Thank you for that. Item number 5 is to request to accept funding to support the age-friendly Arizona Conference. Amy, I understand that you will be providing this report.
Yes, thank you very much, Mr. Chairman and members of the committee for this opportunity to briefly present on this item. Planning is underway with our multidisciplinary partners for Age of Connections. This is the conference associated with Age Friendly Arizona for September 20th. This event was planned as part of the Rural Transportation Incubator, funded in part by the Harry and Jeanette Weinberg Foundation, as well as significant sources of cash match and in-kind contributions from local partners. Part of the funding that was contributed by these partners included $10,000 from ARP Arizona and $11,500 from Vitalist Health Foundation. These sponsorships have made it possible to offer this registration and vendor tables at no cost to participants. Back in June, we were notified by the Arizona Department of Veterans Services of a $4,541 grant award through regional community partners through the Veterans Grant Fund to help to subsidize this conference. Back in July, MAG was notified by the Scan Desert Health Plan of a $5,000 sponsorship to regional community partners for the same reason. Because these sponsorships were committed to regional community partners on behalf of MAG, it is necessary for the Regional Community Partners Board to accept this funding and to recommend approval of a budget amendment to the MAG Regional Council Executive Committee. To date, we have more than 250 people registered for the event. We're very excited for that response. We do have room for more. We very much want to thank Mayor Weiss and Mayor Gallego for speaking at the event. If you'd like to join us, please do let us know. I'd be happy to help out with the registration. That concludes my comments. I'm happy to take any questions or directions that you might have. This item is on the agenda for action. Thank you.
Amy, thank you for that. Are there any members of the RCP who have any questions on this? Any members of the audience who would like to comment?
Thank you, Chair. There are no members of the audience who would like to comment.
Appreciate that. Can I get a motion on this item?
This has been a very important and productive initiative. I move approval.
Second.
I have a motion from Mayor Gallego, a second from Mayor Osborne. I'm assuming, Eric, it was you. I can't see you, but I'm assuming it was you. Any further discussion? Please do roll call.
Thank you, Chair, members of the RCP Board of Directors. I will now do a roll call of the members who are here in person. Please indicate how you vote. If you vote yes, please indicate aye.
Aye.
Thank you. I will now go down the list of members attending virtually. Please unmute and indicate how you vote. Mayor Hermosillo?
Aye.
Thank you. Chair, how do you vote?
Aye.
Thank you. Is there anyone that I missed? Thank you. The motion carries unanimously.
Thank you for that. Next item is request for future agenda items. Are there any future agenda item requests from the membership? Seeing none. Item number 7, are there any comments or announcements from the membership? Anybody getting married? Anybody having a baby? Anybody having a grandbaby? Anything, any big significant things happening? All right, our business is now concluded. We're going to move directly into the executive committee meeting. Good afternoon. The meeting of the MAG Executive Committee is now called to order. Same rules apply for around the table. Please turn on your microphones. *6 to mute, unmute, *9 to raise their hands. There are 3 opportunities for call to the audience and public comment. One is call to the audience, one is for consent agenda and action items to be heard. If you'd like to comment on today's meeting, please fill out a white request to speak card located on the information counter. Please be sure to indicate which item you want to speak about and give it to a designated MAG staff member. Don't forget about the parking garage and getting your ticket validated, and also seeing MAG staff if you need help with a transit ticket. Also, hearing assisted devices are available for MAG staff. Do you mind doing roll call, please?
Thank you, Chair, members of the Executive Committee. I will go down the list of members. Please unmute and indicate if you are present. Mayor Gallego.
Present.
Thank you. Mayor Giles.
Present.
Thank you. Mayor Hartke. Mayor Hermosillo.
Present.
Thank you. Mayor Osborne.
Present.
Thank you. Mayor Peterson. Our chair is present. Mr. Chair, we have a quorum.
Perfect. Eric just did a fabulous job on the Pledge of Allegiance, so we're going to go past that. Next item is call to the audience. Do we have any cards from anybody who'd like to speak?
Mr. Chair, members of the Executive Committee, we do not have any cards for public comment or on any items to be heard. Thank you.
Thank you for that. Our next item is item 4, approval of the consent agenda, items 4A through 4H on our consent agenda. Does any member of the executive committee have questions or want an item removed for separate consideration? Seeing none, can I get a motion to accept the consent agenda, items 4A through 4H, please?
Mr. Chair, I make a motion to approve the consent agenda items.
Second.
I have a motion from Mayor Orsborn, a second from Mayor Giles. Any further discussion? Seeing none, please do roll call.
Thank you, Mr. Chair and members of the executive committee. Can I have a voice vote of those in the room? Those in favor, please say aye. Those opposed, say nay.
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. I will now go down the list of virtual participants. Please unmute your mic. Mayor Hermosillo,
Aye.
thank you. Chair, how do you vote?
Aye.
Thank you. Is there anyone that I missed? Thank you. The motion carries unanimously.
Thank you, members. Item number 5 is discussion and possible action on the Desert Peaks Award. As you all know, this is the annual soiree that MAG puts on for members to kind of look at what we've accomplished over the past year and celebrate those who have who've really made the organization much better. So Kelly, I understand that you'll be presenting this.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair, members of the Executive Committee. So the Desert Peaks Awards program was initiated in 1998 to honor member agencies, partners, and individuals who've demonstrated a commitment to regionalism. Before COVID, this program was held every other year. The last Desert Peaks program was held in 2018 and was scheduled to be held in the fall of 2020, but was canceled due to the pandemic. The purpose of this agenda item is to determine interest from the committee in continuing the Desert Peaks Awards program as a means of celebrating our successes, if there is interest, the potential timing of the next event. In February of 2020, the Executive Committee approved several changes to the program, including decoupling the awards from the annual meeting, revising the award categories to more closely reflect MAG's core activities, and transitioning from an evening event to a lunchtime event. In 2020, cost estimates for a lunchtime event ranged from $11,000 to $18,000, while a dinner event ranged from $23,000 to $30,000. We understand that market conditions have changed significantly, so these costs may be significantly higher at this time. If there is interest in continuing the program, next steps could include updating these estimates and reporting back to the committee. In terms of timing, the next recommended opportunity for the event would be in the spring or fall of 2023. So, Mr. Chair, that concludes my presentation. I'm happy to take any questions and receive your feedback.
Thank you, Kelly. I appreciate that. I'd really kind of like to get comments from the membership if possible. I can remember the discussion that we had before on this, and it was really COVID driven. And while COVID is still an issue out in the community, looking at spring of 23, I'd like to kind of see where the committee wants to go with this, whether they want to do a lunch meeting or a evening meeting. And John, do you mind if I start with you? I think because I remember last time you were pretty vocal on some of this and had some really good ideas.
You might need to remind me what those good ideas were. I'm looking forward to hearing other folks. I know we just had an Arizona League of Cities and Towns meeting about a week ago, and we were talking about just the whole idea of what do we gain out of honoring people. And sometimes that's a great motivator and it helps us to accomplish our goals. And so if we feel like these awards are serving that purpose, then I'm in favor of continuing the program. If we feel like it's just another event that we have to, squeeze onto an already busy calendar, then I won't shed a tear if we just forego them, frankly. So I guess I'd like to go back to the initial question, why are we doing this? Who are we giving these? Are we giving these awards to people that are where they're going to be appreciative and we're going to advance our mission? And if so, then it's probably the best $30,000 we'll spend. But if it's something other than that, I won't miss them.
Thank you, sir. Eric, do you mind if I go to you?
This Eric or that Eric?
No, Mayor Eric.
Okay. I know, I'm pretty sure Buckeye has I can't remember specifically the award, but has won an award recently for something at the Desert Peaks. And it's always a great opportunity to honor. I think we felt honored in receiving that award. I think it's a great opportunity in honoring the groups that we are presenting awards to. I don't know what the original start of it was, and so I kind of go back to Mayor Giles' question. Are the folks that are receiving the awards, are we getting a benefit out of that? Is it promoting MAG and the great things that MAG is doing and the partners that we have? And then also maybe some staff perspective on it, how staff feels about the awards themselves. I mean, sometimes some of this stuff starts as the committee has this great idea, and then we the committee, I'm not saying this committee, but a committee throws that onto the staff to do, and it's kind of just one more thing, and it's just one more awards dinner that we go to, and it ends up being kind of okay, we'll do the awards, but maybe a little bit of feedback from staff also on it to see. And I think it probably doesn't hurt to go back out and find what today's cost is to put on the event, because if those costs have gone up dramatically from the 20 to 30,000, maybe it doesn't make sense to do a large event like that.
Thank you, Mayor Osborne. Mr. Chair, if I may.
Yes.
So the categories used to be like public partnership, public-private partnership, professional service, regional partnership. And we, in February of 2020, the executive committee said that they would be in favor of changing those to the following: safe and smart travel, economy and growth, quality of life, and protecting the environment. It is a mix of MAG member agencies and private partnerships as well. So it does recognize the work that's being done, again, that's collaborative and regional. And then there's also a fifth category of a Lifetime Achievement Award, which is only given out if there's an individual who warrants it. So that's historically how they have been handled. So I think that the purpose of today's meeting is really just to start a conversation about what it does mean to celebrate our successes and the successes of our member agencies and partners. Is an in-person awards program still, such as Desert Peak, still the best means of doing that? Do we want to consider other alternatives? Is this something that people feel is important? We do get a lot of questions, people asking when the next one is coming up, so that they have a project in mind that they want to celebrate. But again, it's, we can certainly revisit other ways of celebrating those successes or continue to look at an in-person awards program.
Mr. Chair, if I could add to what Kelly is saying, I think given how long it's been since we had a Desert Peaks Award, and I think obviously the composition of the executive committee is different than it was when we had this discussion pre-pandemic too. We need to probably update the cost estimates anyway, and maybe we need to put together just a summary document that talks about what the Desert Peaks Awards are designed to do, kind of what the categories are, picking up on what the executive committee talked about 2.5 years ago now. Revised cost numbers and some of the options, and maybe we can put that together for the executive committee for consideration in the future too, because I think we probably need to start and build up the knowledge base a little bit about what we do, who's won in the past, and kind of what the feedback we receive. So maybe we need to kind of put together that summary document and then come back to the executive committee for maybe a more robust discussion.
And Eric, I think that makes sense. I've been part of MAG for I don't know how long. So I remember Desert Peaks. I can remember when the Lifetime Achievement Awards were passed out. I remember it was a great time to gather. But also, since there has been a break, maybe it is time for us to look at it and say, okay, do we want to change the awards? Do we want to change the dynamic, what the focus is? But I think for this committee to make that kind of decision, you're right, we need to have some more background information and then a cost estimate. Mayor Gallego, your thoughts?
Thank you so much. I would like to bring back the Desert Peaks Awards. I think they are important and recognize successes and partnerships. to the extent we're making changes, our homeless work is very important to so many of us, and that's one we cannot do without partnerships. And I think you could fit it into some categories, economic or quality of life, but I would be interested in adjusting the categories just to make sure that there is a strong fit to recognize those partnerships. As we've talked about as MAG leadership, we also need to do a better job telling our story about what we are doing to fight homelessness and affordable housing. And that is an important opportunity. Same on transportation. We have to celebrate why Prop 400 was so important to where we are today. And this is a great strategic opportunity from my perspective. And I have a slight preference for lunch over dinner.
I think you bring up a great point, and I think it is now more than ever, the partnerships that we build outside of the organization are key to our success. And we try as individuals to recognize those champions, but how do we do it as an organization? So I would agree with you. I think we probably need to look at that. And the homeless efforts are huge to us. There were so many people who were involved, so many stakeholders. Transportation is huge to us. Economic development is huge to us. Alexis, what are your thoughts?
No, I think bringing it back to the awards, I think recognizing folks goes a long way, especially when building partnerships and relationships. And so bringing back any type of award system, I think is beneficial to all of us.
Okay. Did I miss any other member on the phone? Eric, it sounds like, honestly, we would just like to get more information and get some options here. I personally like the nighttime event. I think it gives people a chance to leave work and go and, engage with people on a more relaxed atmosphere. But I can understand where some members might be looking at lunchtime because their schedules are incredibly busy, and time with family is important at nighttime. And it's also important for our staff to have time with their family. So if we can get information on both options when it comes to day or night, and then let's get an update. Just give us some examples of what you guys are thinking. You guys have done this before. So Eric, when do you think you could bring this back to us?
I think maybe 2 months, something like that, give us plenty of time. We have a lot of things on our plate right now also. So I think maybe by October anyway.
No worries. No worries. You have your directions. I don't think we need to take a vote on this. So
Thank you.
thank you everyone for the input. Item number 6 is the update on efforts toward Prop 400. This is a discussion I think we should have and qualifies to have an executive session. So if I can get a nod from our attorney or a comment from our attorney, if that works, going into executive session.
Yes, that works, Steve.
Can I get a motion to adjourn to executive session, please?
This is Mayor Giles. I'm moved for an executive session.
Mayor Osborne, a second.
I have a motion from Mayor Giles, a second from Mayor Osborne. Can I get a roll call vote, please?
Thank you, Chair and members of the Executive Committee. We'll do a voice vote of those in the room. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Those opposed say nay. There are no nay votes. I will now do a roll call of all members participating virtually. Please unmute your mic and indicate how you vote. Mayor Hermosillo?
Aye.
Thank you. Chair, how do you vote?
Aye.
Thank you. Is there anyone that I missed? Thank you. Mr. Chair, members of the Executive Committee, the motion carries unanimously. Can now enter executive session.
Thank you for that.
This is Craig. I can confirm that we are now in executive session and we cannot see anything on YouTube or Zoom.
Chair, Mayor Weiss,
Yes.
I apologize. I have to hop off,
Okay.
but I will get with you to get filled in later.
All right. Sounds good.
Thanks. All right. Bye-bye.
Welcome back, everyone. Item number 8 is request for future agenda items. Is there any members of the committee who have that request?
Mayor Weiss,
Yes.
we
You
lost
your
quorum.
quorum.
We lost the quorum.
Well, then I guess our meeting's over.
Correct.
Thank you, everyone.